I'd like to welcome you to Teaching Leadership's 891 Research Methods. In this short introductory video, we'd like to explain how the course will operate. And typically, when I was a student, I always wanted to know 5 things before I began any class. And now that we use Canvas, one of the first things that I would want to know is how do I navigate the course, and then what am I going to be doing in the course, in the class? Is there anything that's going to be useful for me in my teaching career? Also, I want to know if I could make some connections, who was in this course with me, and then, of course, who the instructor was. What type of person is this teacher that I'm going to spend some time with? And basically, the biggest question I always ask is, how do I get an A in this course? And my response is, you do your best, and I'll do the rest to make sure that you are successful. So let's see how these uh, 5 questions can be answered. And the first one, how do I navigate the Canvas course? Well, the very first page that you run into when you open your course is the home page. And on this page, basically, everything that you're going to need to know, I tried to put here with the objectives, with how you get your text and who this instructor was, and some of the things that we're going to be doing. So the home page is rather important in being the first thing that you probably ought to look at. The second thing that I think is important for you are the announcements. I keep you updated through the announcements. They're becoming one every week. And in the announcements, it's going to talk about what you did before and what you're going to be doing in the next week. Also, I'll put in some interesting illustrations or cartoons, and every so often some funny videos just to lighten the mood. Um, we need to do that in educational research. The syllabus page is the second page, basically in the side table of contents. This page will cover most everything you need to know about the course in detail. Is found in the syllabus. All of the course objectives, the university policies, and the assignment calendar are all found on that page. So most anything you want to know, you can go back and consult that. The course objectives really do form the basis for this course. They're found in the syllabus. They're going to be found in each module unit, and then in each test item that you will find in the quizzes. Each question will be associated with one of the objectives in that chapter. The assignments are listed on that syllabus page by date. It also keeps track of your grades and when you submit them. It looks like a lot, but in essence, we can get it done in 8 weeks. The modules are the next item in your column, the table of contents column. Here you will find all of your course material found by weekly modules. Also, you have a harmonized discussion page there for any questions that you want answered and discussion among those of you in class. I'm going to try that, see if it works pretty well for us in clearing up any things that seem to be confusing. When you open up a module, like in Module 2, you will find, first of all, the things to do, which will list the objectives and kind of give you an overview of what you should do. Then you'll see chapter overviews. Here they are PowerPoint summaries of what you're going to find in each chapter. You're also going to find the concept maps there. There'll also be some supplemental articles or websites or research examples that will include, that you don't have to read those, but it kind of helps you to understand the points in that module. There'll be videos too. If you don't like reading real well, sometimes you can just uh, do the videos, and it will serve the same purpose as reading the chapters a lot of times. So uh, these are kind of important to look over. What you'll find at the bottom of each module will be 2 quizzes. You only have to take one. They're each 20 questions long and worth 20 points that will cover the 2 chapters. Um, they're all multiple choice questions with some true and false in there, but they're objective. And if you don't like your grade on the first quiz, you can take the second quiz. They're different quizzes, but they will cover the same chapter material in each. So you can take the highest of 2 grades. Then at the end, you'll find the module activity for that week. And we'll talk about those in just a second. In each module, as we said, there'll be a concept map. I always found these real good to give me a broad overview of what we're going to be studying. And then you'll find the PowerPoints, which summarize in very brief terms what you're going to find in each chapter. So for me, a lot of times I would do the concept map and then look over the PowerPoint. It really does help. Also in each module, you're going to find the videos and the websites and the articles. They look something like this. Usually the video, all you got to do is press on the play button. You can watch it. Down here, websites, a lot of times you got to click on those lined blue websites and they will take you right to them. On the things to do page, the very first thing you find in each module, again, you're going to find the objectives, and there's usually 4, maybe 5 objectives in each chapter, and the questions will be formed after those. So you almost know what your test is going to be by what the objectives are. And when it comes to quiz time, they're even identify which objective they're testing to. So read the to-do page. It gives you a broad perspective of what's going to happen in that module. When you do look over the written assignment and read the articles and watch the videos, you can take the chapter quiz. It always covers the 2 chapters assigned to you. And again, do not exit the quiz until you finish. And for each of the quiz, when you get something wrong, it will give you the right answer and explain why you missed the question that you did. So that will be a good thing, especially if you take the second quiz. If you don't, like we said, if you don't like your score, you take the second alternative quiz, and we will use your highest of the 2 quiz grades. At the end of each of the module, you're going to find an activity, and the directions will tell you what is going to happen in that activity. But then below will be the activity, and each of them are templates, and all you do is click on the download button here, and it will download the template, and you just type in your answers and then submit. It's as easy as that. And what you have in each of the chapters from 2 to 8 is an activity, and we'll explain those in just a minute, but it gets you to apply what you read in those 2 chapters in that module. Using the template in these activities, you're going to be looking at a research proposal. You look at how you write a literature review. However, you will not write one, but you know where you get all your information. And then in 3 of the projects, you're kind of outline a quantitative, qualitative, and a mixed method. You don't have to write it. You're just going to be kind of outlining what would you do if you were going to do a quantitative study. So you answer the questions in the template in each of the activities. So basically, in these modules, we're going to give you enough ideas if you ever want to write a master's thesis, you have at least 3 good quality ideas to write one. The very first module will have you look at writing a research plan, a basic research plan. In the third module, we'll have you look at a basic literature review. What would you write about? And then where would you find that information? Your list those places that you're going to go. In Module 5, we're going to look at the quantitative method, and here you're kind of outlining what you might do as a qualitative study. In Module 6, you're looking at what you might do for a qualitative study. And then in Module 7, what would you do for a mixed method if you wanted to combine those two? And then in the very last module, you choose what you would want to do if you had to write a master's thesis, and you're kind of outline chapters 1, 2, and 3, which you've already kind of done, but we're summarizing here at the end, deciding what you might do for a master's thesis or even a doctoral dissertation. So the final research project is a proposal, but you're not writing it out in narrative form. You're simply thinking it through. So I think that will serve you a good purpose if you later want to go on and write a master's thesis. For everything that you submit, you'll be evaluated by a rubric, and for each assignment, I will write kind of a little lengthy narrative to give you ideas what you did well, what you might improve on, so that if you wanted to do that project, you could do it well. And to harmonize, we're going to use this as our discussion board, and it's going to stay up all semester long. We may have to learn how to use it. First time I've used it in this class, but we'll be answering each other's questions and asking questions and sharing different ideas in this discussion board. The text that you're going to use is just recently been updated. It's educational research, so don't let it scare you. It looks kind of lengthy, but it reads easy. You can purchase a hard copy, or I suggest you do an ebook from the Pearson store. It's all explained on the home page and also on Module 1. Tells you how you can get that. You can get that within 5 minutes, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper if you do the ebook. And that's my suggestion to you. And the chapters that we're going to cover in the textbook, again, you're going to leave with a pretty strong knowledge base about educational research and what quantitative, qualitative, and all those things mean, and the types of statistics. You're just not going to have to do any of them. You're just going to have to understand what they do, but you're not going to have to actually do it yourself. So I think that will be a good, especially good orientation, especially for an 8-week class. Well, how do you know who's in the class with me? Most of you have taken a Canvas class before, so you know that you do have a place that lists the people for you. So you can see who is in the class also by the class introductions. We do that in the very first week, where you introduce yourself, and you probably know several of the people in your class. To get to know me, if you haven't had a class from me before, you'll watch a humorous video called The Life and Times of Kent Runyon. Don't take it too seriously, but I found it's a very good way to introduce yourself, and you might want to develop one for yourself as you introduce yourself to your students, or you could even use it at parent-teacher conferences if you have groups come in on the first day. So give it a look-see. And then question number 5, the last question, how do you get an A in the class? Well, in 8 weeks, you're going to be taking 6 quizzes. If you want to, you can take actually more than that if you want, if you're not satisfied with your first grade. And you're going to do 6 activities. Again, there'll be short sort of outline activities that you use a template to submit. And then you do your final research proposal outline, which will outline kind of what you might do for a master's thesis. And then there's other small types of things, such as a personal introduction, taking a quiz on the course structure after watching this video, and participating in the harmonized discussion board. And then also you evaluate this course and give me feedback so I can make this course even better. Because this is the first time actually I've taught it. So we'll see how it goes. If you're going to be late for submitting an assignment, because I know life happens, just come up with a good excuse, or at least tell me that it's going to be late. And I know life happens, so I'm very understanding on that part. But keep me informed. This course is fully online, so that's how we kind of take attendance. Make sure that you complete your assignments in a timely manner, because 8 weeks goes very quickly. In attendance on an online class, it's different from a face-to-face type of course, but attendance on an online course is defined as completion of the assignment. So make sure that you get things done on time, or you tell me that there's something going on. I plan to have an interesting time. I like research. I have a fun time exploring different ideas and different research methods. So I hope you find this class exciting too. So let's have fun exploring. Get busy.